What is good, YouTube? We got a video from my dog, DBZ Amran. I watch the videos quite often in my spare time. I think we've reacted to a couple of his videos on the channel. I'm not quite sure. As you can see, I have the bell, you know what I'm saying, turned on so I can see all notifications. If the bell is too much of a hassle, when you sub, make sure you check the Discord community link down below. Joining that server to be notified every time we go live on Twitch and every time we post on YouTube. This is from live on TikTok, Twitch, and YouTube. So if you want to see more lives like this, check the socials, which are also linked down below. And they're also on the Discord. I put a lot of work into the server. I think you'd enjoy seeing it. As always, we're going to pre-fire a like. And today we're going to be talking about why Urahara will never become a captain again.
I have to be upfront here, I don't think Urahara is ever going to put that captain's coat back on, and honestly, that's exactly how it should be.
That's how his character,
why Urahara hasn't reclaimed.
I want him as a captain. I think I would love to see the drip. However, his character growth and character arc dictates as such that it'll be contradictory from the down those gowns.
His position as the captain of the 12th Division. The real question isn't why didn't he go back, it's why the hell would he? Because once you understand what Urahara has been doing for the past century and how much effective he's been operating from the shadows, you realize that him becoming a captain again would actually be a massive step backward. Not just for him, but for the entire universe of Bleach. Let's get the obvious reasons why he won't return to the Grade 13 out of the way. Remember his old position? Well, it's occupied by Mayuri Kurotsuki, who's been running Squad 12
good job,
and the Research and Development Institute for over a century.
He's more freaky than Kisuke. Like, in terms of the experiments he does. I said Kisuke? Is that Urahara's first name? Am I tripping? Am I tripping? I don't know why I just said Kisuke. Hold on, I'm about to Google it. No way. Urahara. His first name is Kisuke. Oh my gosh, bro. What the fuck? I'm telling you, chat. It's something about being an anime nerd, bro. It's in there in your brain. A key thing about Urahara is the way he handles like the research he does compared to Mayuri is very different. Mayuri does a lot of chemical and biological research. A lot of research Kisuke does is related to spiritual pressure, spiritual energy, and things related to Reishi as a whole. Well, obviously there are things that Mayuri manufactures that relate the two. A huge part of his research is biological and genetics. The chemicals, I hit you with a chemical that has you, you know what I'm saying, in a Tsukuyomi, the whole Nimbu existing thing, it's very biological. The Nimbu project, he's on like the 7th one. Stuff like that is very important. That's what he does. So although it's like freakier than what Urahara does, it looks less clean, it looks more evil. That is like the gray that the Soul Society is. It's not such a clean picture. There are some things they have to do that aren't to be like happy about, like the fact that Yamamoto during the war with the Quincy's murdered people. The fact that Yamamoto, when he thought why am I forgetting his name? Shunsui, I can't remember the name of my goat with the white hair. Shunsui and him, when they were trying to defend Ichigo to help stop the corruption of Aizen, Yamamoto upped his blade on 2 of his students. That's like how gray the Soul Society is in terms of as a place and like what's acceptable and what isn't, to the point where Kisuke is just not suited for it. That's not his type of research. Though he does do crazy research, it's more suited for Mayuri type situation.
Now, people love comparing Urahara and Mayuri, debating who's smarter, who's more effective. But these arguments miss the point that Urahara and Mayuri's expertise are both being provided to the Soul Society, and this is exponentially more valuable than just having one of them. They really push each other, with Mayuri constantly trying to one-up Urahara's inventions, with Mayuri having a preference for aesthetics over just copying the look of technology from the world of the living, while Urahara is driven towards innovating and developing new technology regardless of how it looks. Mayuri also prefers to create his own version of technology so that he doesn't have to rely on Urahara. This competitive fire drives innovation faster than any collaboration between them could. Following the 1,000
It's also why monopolies don't normally lead to anything good, because in a monopoly, you set the standards. If you make the quality required to make money so shitty, then you can produce things faster. Your production cost goes down. if you make it imperative for things to be of high quality, you have a monopoly. You have to uphold that high quality. And even if you don't, people still have to show up if they're interested in the IP, the brand, whatever you're pitching. While on the other hand, with competition, you're forced to change your model to come up with something new and to look at things from different angles, which by definition is human innovation.
In Blood War arc, Mairi even admitted he developed his own version of the tech used to strengthen Aizen's restraints, specifically because he was tired of being overshadowed by Urahara.
Crazy.
If you replace Mairi with Urahara, then you lose this dynamic entirely.
Yeah.
Let's be real, what are they gonna do with Mairi if Urahara takes back the position of captain of
Exactly.
Squad 12? Are they going to...
Because although Kisuke is thriving in the world of the living, Mayuri may not be able to do the same. So it's like Kisuke has somewhere to return to. He has a shop, he has an identity, etc. He knows people in different places, etc. Mayuri is a soul society, like that's where he stays. That's his blood.
To lock him back up in Maggot's nest. This guy is way too valuable and too dangerous to just keep on the sidelines. The current arrangement with Urahara working outside of the Gotei 13 works because both of them can contribute without stepping on each other's toes. A major reason why Urahara isn't going to return to the Gotei 13 is the Central 46. These are the people who exiled him and branded him as a traitor, and they refused to listen when he warned them about Aizen. Do you think that that relationship is magically going to be healed? Sure enough, they pardoned Urahara and the others once.
Mind you, Aizen hates the 46 because, bro, he erased them. Of course, new people are there, but his whole point is he hates that they have control over everything and they don't have no motion. They have no powers. They don't experience the outside world for real. They don't know how the laws they pass affect people. They just pass laws.
The truth about Aizen had come out, and Yamamoto even spoke on Urahara's behalf, clearing his name officially, but there was no grand ceremony, no formal apology, no acknowledgement of the 100 years that they stole from him. Just a quiet, you're allowed back now, and everyone expected him to be grateful for this. If Urahara became a captain again, he'd be right back under their thumbs. Every experiment would be scrutinized, every invention questioned,
and why would I go back to that when I've been doing great with the freedom that I've had?
Every decision will be second-guessed by these same bureaucrats who were so quick to condemn him in the first place. This is the man who had created the Hokyoku, who pioneered holocation research, who operates in a bit of a
Is that Ichigo's mom?
Gray area that makes people feel uncomfortable. Do you think that the Central 46 would just let him work freely? They'd be watching his every move, waiting for him to step out of line so that they could justify punishing him again. And you have to think that Urahara knows this. He's too smart not to see that trap. As a captain, he'd be under constant surveillance. His research will be subject to approval from people who don't understand.
He got motion, bruh.
But as an individual, will be subject
to peep the fit, bro. He got that shit on though.
Approval from people who don't understand or trust what he does. But as an independent shopkeeper in Karakura Town, he operates outside of the Central 46's jurisdiction. They are unable to order him around or shut down his experiments, and they can't do anything except request for his help, which he is free to give or refuse as he sees fit. This is real power in my opinion, not the rank of a captain, but Urahara having the freedom to act according to his own
whatever I want to do
any oversight from people who have already proven that they'll throw him under the bus when it's convenient. Do you want to know the real reason why Urahara isn't gonna return? It's because he doesn't want to. After he was exiled, he real reason why people who have already proven that they'll throw him under the bus when it's convenient. Do you want to know the real reason why Urahara isn't gonna return? It's because he doesn't want to. After he was exiled, he found something better, which was his freedom. After more than a century of living on his own, building his shop, establishing his life in the human world, creating his unique role that only he can fill, why would he give all of this up? His life in Karakura Town isn't a
mind you, relationships he had built in Soul Society are like foreign to him now. Like it's been hundreds of years, but they probably remember me, but they don't have the same fondness for me that they once did. While in Karakura Town, I have relationships of my own now, and like that's like my family. I have no reason to leave them for you that abandoned me. Come on, bro.
Situation anymore. He's been there for over 100 years. That's longer than most Shinigami serving as captains. He's raised Jinta and Ururu, built a business, become a fixture of Karakura Town. He isn't waiting for his exile to be lifted so that he can become captain of Squad 12.
That's his home now.
He's comfortable being the most dangerous independent operative within the spiritual world of Bleach. When Ichigo lost his powers after he did Mugetsu, Urahara didn't wait for permission from the Soul Society to help. He immediately started researching how to restore his powers. Remember the moment where Urahara saw the look on Ichigo's face after the final Getsuga Tensho. He saw what it cost him,
depressed.
and he took it upon himself to find a solution. He didn't ask for any permission, especially from the Central 46, to do this. He had spent an entire year developing that Reishi sword, the one that Rukia would eventually use to stab Ichigo and return his powers. And when he finally cracked it, he didn't go through official channels, he contacted Rukia directly, explained what needed to be done, and then did something that perfectly encapsulates why Urahara works better outside of the system. He went straight to head Captain Yamamoto and convinced him to have every captain and lieutenant donate their Reiatsu to the Reishi sword. As a result, Yamamoto gave an unprecedented order that all—
This nigga is the GOAT, bruh. On his knees for his mans. That's powerful, bro. I am above all of these niggas. Even if you're not referring to power, mind you, he was in like Bayou Baja standards. This nigga was like top 5. Was it top 5? It's to worry. Like it was essentially like a fleet on site. Top 5, and they all had their own reasons: strength, potential, IQ, etc. Right? That type of guy who's smarter than any of these fucking niggas. I don't need any of y'all to continue existing how I've been existing. And I'm still just as powerful as before I left. And I'm on my hands and knees for my homie. Like, bro, please give him his shit back, bro. He helped save you when he didn't have to, bro. He's not from here. You know what I'm saying? That's powerful, bro.
All captains and lieutenants were to pull their Reiatsu into this sword.
That's like if somebody's laughing in class, and your teacher assumes it's you, and one of your homeboys goes, "Nah, bro, it was me." He didn't even say nothing for real.
No question or hesitation. That's the level of trust that Urahara has now built, not through rank or position, but through results and his reliability. And you know what Urahara revealed in the Can't For Your Own World light novels? That moment when Yamamoto acknowledged him again after 100 years, when the head captain gave him that order to help Ichigo, Urahara described feeling like you could finally breathe again after drowning for so long. The emotional weight of that exile did in fact crush him, but he never let it stop him from doing what was right. And then we have the events of the 1000-Year Blood War arc. And here you really get to understand why the Soul Society needs Urahara. While the Gotei 13 was getting decimated by the Quincy's ability to steal Bankai, guess who solved that problem? It wasn't Squad 12, it was Urahara. He invented the Shadow Infiltration pills. To explain it simply, it allows a Shinigami to temporarily hollowify their Bankai, making it poisonous to Quincy who try to steal it. He understood something fundamental about the Quincy that even Mayuri seemed to have overlooked, and this is their primordial fear of hollows. Hollow Reishi was in fact poisonous to Quincy. It would destroy their souls from within. So Urahara weaponized that vulnerability. He created these pills that would briefly infuse Hollow Reishi.
And that's the hardest part, like the toughest part. It's not BS plot armor shit. It's literally research
into a Shinigami's Bankai, turning it poisonous for any Quincy foolish enough to try stealing it. And he distributed these tablets to every captain and lieutenant in the middle of a war zone through Mayuri's communication network. And this is what I'm talking about when I say Urahara is more effective outside of the Gotei 13.
So tough,
could Captain Urahara of Squad 12 have done this? Maybe, but it would have taken weeks of approval, bureaucratic review. The Urahara who operates in Town, he assessed the problem, developed the solution, and deployed it in the time that it would have taken a captain to schedule a meeting with the Central 46. And then came his final battle of the 1000-Year Blood War arc against Askin Naklava. Here he had used his Bankai Kanon Benihime Aratame for the first time. He even had formed a tactical alliance with Grimmjow in order to take down the Sternritter. This is the kind of morally grey decision making that captains just can't do. At the end of the arc, he collapsed in Askin's Gift Ball Deluxe, apologizing to Ichigo and Rukia for leaving everything in their hands. Even in defeat, even when he was poisoned and he was dying, Urahara had accomplished what needed to be done. Thankfully, he was rescued by Nell, and his contributions to the 1000-Year Blood War arc were absolutely irreplaceable. Then, 6 months after Yubak was defeated, Tokinada Tsuneyashiro had made his move. Urahara's role in the Can't For Your Own World light novels was even more critical. This is where we see the full scope of why the Soul Society depends on him being an external asset. Tokinada was operating within the bounds of noble privilege. He was using legitimate authority to pursue an insane plan, which was to create a new Soul King via the hybrid being Hikone. The Gotei 13 couldn't just march in and arrest him without any evidence, approval, or political complications. When
Damn.
Tokinada's ally Ora Michibane sealed off Karakura Town and tried to recruit Urahara, he engaged her in battle using high-level Kido. He used Hado 91, Hado 99 as he was analyzing her abilities, gathering intelligence, and Urahara even worked with the Fullbringer Yukio, and by the end of the Confia Onward light novels, Urahara was in the control room working to stop Tokinada's backup scheme, which was to send a fake royal palace crashing down onto Earth. He opened a massive Gaganta and redirected it to Hueco Mundo instead, saving countless lives through quick thinking. During Urahara's final discussion with Isagi, Urahara confessed something crucial about why he created the Hokyoku. People assumed that it was for some noble purpose, to help the Soul King or reverse the situation, but Urahara admitted the truth. He created it out of pure curiosity. He wanted to open a new door, push past.
How is that not being him? How is that not the definition of what it means to be a scientist, bro? Oh, you said, why did I create this god pill that can take a regular and make them him? Oh, I just got bored. That's the smartest shit you can say.
Limitations, see what was possible. All of these goals were secondary to his desire to just want to create something new. And then he quietly said to himself, fundamentally, I am no different from Mr. Kurotsuchi. That self-awareness, that honesty about his own dangerous tendencies is exactly why Urahara chooses to stay outside of the official system.
Such a great
character, He knows that
bro.
He is a scientist whose curiosity can override his judgment. Someone who could potentially sacrifice too much in the pursuit of knowledge. If Urahara ever crosses a line, he wants it to be people with real moral clarity who call him out, not the Central 46 who wield institutional power. This is a choice that he's making every single day. Sure, Urahara could demand his position back, he could leverage his contributions into an official reinstatement, but he actively chooses not to, because he understands that the freedom and accountability of his current role is what keeps him from getting carried away. Then we get a considerable time skip 12 years after the defeat of Yhwach. During the No Breathes from Hell one-shot chapter, we learn that Urahara has been working closely with the Shinigami Research and Development Institute. He has been driving...
He did make the smartphone, and I remember one of the Hell captains or lieutenants, she's like inspired by what they call it, Gyaru, or it's like, I think it's called Gyaru culture in Japan. And it's like when they're like really tan, they're like into the K-pop stuff. I mean, it's completely different from K-pop, but type situation, they overly make up, you know what I'm saying? Phone in hand, all types of... And he was able to bring that to the Soul Society. I think that's motion.
Massive technological advancement in the Soul Society. We're talking about introducing televisions that can pick up shows from the human world, developing new spirit devices which can video call from the Soul Society to the world of the living, and pushing the boundaries of what's possible with Reishi technology. Rukia mentions all of this casually.
Now when Ichigo is trying to aura farm, he can actually have AirPods in his ear.
During her video call with Ichigo, all of these innovations are thanks to Urahara. He's revolutionizing the Soul Society's technological infrastructure without being part of any official chain of command. Mayuri's even competing with him, trying to keep up with his own inventions that he claims are more suited to the aesthetics of the Serite. That rivalry is still going strong after all of these years, as they are pushing each other to innovate faster and faster. This is what 12 years of this arrangement looks like. Urahara hasn't just carved out a new role for himself, he's created an irreplaceable position that only exists because he's outside of the Gotei 13. The Soul Society now depends on having someone who can operate in the grey areas, who can make decisions that captains can't justify, who can conduct research that would never get approved through official channels. When Yamamoto needed a team sent to Hueco Mundo but couldn't officially authorize it, Urahara opened up the Garganta. When the Gotei...
Would you like me to organize a little outing to Hueco Mundo? It's the way he talks, the voice actor too. They did his character really well.
13 needed a solution to stolen Bankai, but couldn't develop it fast enough. Urahara delivered. The trust that he has rebuilt with the Soul Society is based upon him being external. He's the ally that they call when normal solutions won't work, when they need someone who isn't bound by
someone outside of the box.
If he became a captain again, he'd lose that unique value proposition.
And it's like the only way someone like him can become captain is under the preface that we're actually going to change the entire Soul Society like that. You know what I'm saying?
He'd just be another talented officer in the hierarchy, subject to the same limitations as everyone else. But yeah, we have reached the point of the video where I want to hand over the discussion to all of you. What do you guys think of my reasonings?
Oh. Well, shout out to y'all for watching. You know, thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. If you made it this far, comment down below your favorite. And yeah, man. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make sure you stay happy, healthy, and hydrated. As always, you know, time to catch me next. Hope to see you there. Peace.